All right, if you've been working on your nervous system and you're curious if you're making progress, this video is going to shine some light. I'm going to drop some nuggets for you. I've been working on my system for many years now. And once I realized that that was what I needed to work on, just the nervous system and overall healing in this kind of alternative way, I really started exploring anything I could find, anything I could get my hands on. And honestly, I looked for things that were quick wins because I like having the best tools. And when you have a good tool, you want to be able to tell if the tool is working. So if you're doing some kind of work on your nervous system, whatever tool or modality you're using, you want to be able to tell if what you're doing is actually doing something. And so here's 5 things that I've found as kind of good signs that, yeah, things are changing, things are happening. The first one, which I think is interesting, and not everyone might be aware of this, but the first one is like, you might start feeling little twitches or little jerks in your body. And think of it like this. Think of it when you're falling asleep, right? You're laying in bed, or maybe you know someone, like you're sleeping next to them, and their leg twitches, or their arm twitches, or something like that. That twitch is actually an energetic release from whatever part of the body, and the nervous system kind of within that. So that is a good sign. Now, some people and Western medicine have different ideas and philosophies on what that twitch is or what those twitches mean. And I've heard some interesting ideas. What I've found is, and what I've experienced, is that those twitches are actually a good thing. They're a release. And so if that's happening, then that could be a good sign. And maybe it's more than just a twitch. Maybe it's more than just a sudden jerk. Maybe it's kind of sustained for a bit and kind of like tremors and shakes off and then lets go. That kind of tremor and shake, as it dissipates, is another sign, very similar, right? To instead of just a single twitch or jerk, you're actually getting a bit more of a release over time. So that's a good one to keep in mind also. The second one that can happen is if you have a change in the way you perceive reality and the way you kind of see things, right? The way I imagine it, or I've had it explained to me, is imagine like the windshield of your life gets wiped clean. Imagine it was dirty, dusty, whatever, bunch of dried water spots. And then the more of this work that you do, the more you clean the nervous system, the more that gets wiped clean. And because it gets wiped clean, you can see things more clearly, but it's very difficult to put words to. So if you're experiencing these changes and these subtle, or maybe not so subtle, differences in your experience, and it's hard to put words to them, this might be what's happening. If you're working on your nervous system and you're making progress, these are signs that things are working. So that's a good one too. Got all sorts of bikers and runners on this trail. This is awesome. All right, so the third thing that's a good sign if you're working on your nervous system and you want to know if it's working is that you might become more sensitive to things that you had numbed out from in the past. Because the nervous system is made of nerves. No surprise. The nervous system, nerves, obviously we know that. It's your nerves that pick up the things that you sense in the world. Sight, smell, sounds, light, all the things. Feelings, or, touch. And so if you become numb out over time because of whatever life experience is, and I definitely did, then your nervous system is the thing that becomes affected because of the numbing out, right? And so as you start to heal the nervous system, you unnumb the nerves, and so you're going to feel more. You're going to sense more. And that can be things like sense of smell, sense of taste, your sensitivity to the air and the wind. I don't mean things like allergies start coming up, right? You're more sensitive to like things in a bad way, but being more sensitive to things in a, oh, used to not feel this and now I do kind of way. And that can apply to most of the senses. So that's another one. And then also, number 4 is if you're just generally more at ease, more calm, less reactive, less anxious. The nervous system can react when it's all tight, tense, stressed, and there's energy bound up in it because it binds up in the nervous system itself. And so as you work on it and it starts to calm down, all of that can start to calm down. You'll be more at ease naturally. And then the last one is your sleep might generally increase. Your HRV might increase. You might have better, more restful states of sleep overall because the overall tension in your body is reducing. All of these things I can speak from experience. If you want to drop a comment below, share your experience, or ask a question in the comments, I'm sure I can get to it. But all of these things are good signs that progress is being made along the way. And definitely signs to keep going in whatever the work is that you're doing. And if you're not sure if you're making progress, but you want to maybe have better tools, again, drop a comment or shoot me a message, find my website. There's a contact me on my website. And that's a cool little bench. Half a mile. And it really helps to have the best tools. That's what I've experienced. So overall, as you work on the nervous system, your whole experience of life changes. It increases, it gets way better. And the ease increases and the stress goes away and the tension fades out. And you're just more open to the possibilities of life. So if you're working on your nervous system, I'm proud of you for watching this video and for staying this long. You're doing a great job. And just keep going. And we're gonna get you there. I'll see you in the next one.